Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Against All Odds. I'm your host, Yris Palmer. Today we are spotlighting Chris Karimian. He's the co-founder and CEO of Chris and Eddy's, my favorite burger place. Chris, thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure.
Before we get started, I start every episode with a little icebreaker on zodiac signs. So I'm big on astrology. I don't know if you knew that.
I did. I picked it up.
Okay. I'm like super big on astrology. And I actually didn't know that you were a Leo. Mm-hmm. Because some of your traits, you don't really give me Leo traits. Like, I feel like I need to know your rising and your moon. You probably don't know that, right?
I don't know. I just know the day I was born.
Okay.
Maybe if I tell you that,
your
know.
son. Okay. So I'm going to read you some of your Leo traits. I really don't know Leo men. I know like Leo women, but they're very different. You tell me what resonates with you and what doesn't, okay?
Okay.
So some of your strengths are you're warm-hearted and protective. You're ambitious and driven. You have an uplifting energy, which means like you love to hype up the people that you love. Your challenges are you can take things personally if not appreciated. Once you decide something, it's hard to change your mind. So you guys are very stubborn. And this one, because I personally know you, I don't feel like it goes with you, but it says likes to be the center of attention, which I feel like you're the opposite. But am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the strengths are accurate.
Okay.
I think like for some reason, it's hard for me to like enjoy any type of success unless other people are enjoying success alongside me. Like if I, for example, like hit the lottery and people around me haven't hit the lottery, it's a weird feeling. So in that sense, I'm warm-hearted.
Yeah.
I don't like to eat if other people aren't eating next to me.
Yeah.
Like, but for the negative traits, I think I don't consider myself stubborn, which is the second one. I
feel like you're really easygoing.
Yeah, I will change. If I assess something and I don't think it makes sense, I'll change my mind.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually a strength because a lot of times you have bad information. So when someone is like in your face, like, hey, I have better information about something, it's smart to like pivot.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, I do not like to be in this. I don't think being in the center of attention leads.
I feel like that's a Leo women trait because I do know some Leo. I feel like that I don't really know men, but I feel like that's like one thing that they say about Leos is like they like to be the center of attention, but I feel like that's so opposite from you.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the center of attention.
Yeah.
I think, like I want to be low key behind the scenes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's give them a BTS of like how we know each other. Okay, so Chris is married to one of my childhood best friends, Milana. And I have to say, ever since I've met you, like, loved you. Like, I was like, this is you're such a genuine person. You're super hardworking. You have the best burgers. So, which is one of the reasons I wanted to bring you here and really highlight your business. But also, like, you have figured it out, you know? And so I want to dive into your story. You're born and raised in LA, which is very few people are born and raised here. Have you always felt like you had an entrepreneur, have you always felt like you wanted to be an entrepreneur from the start?
So honestly, amazing question, because I think it's actually going to explain who I am a lot. Like when I answer your question, you'll understand a lot of who I am. So my dad is Armenian and he moved here with my mom right after the Soviet Union broke. Okay. So they're like immigrants and they're trying to figure it out. And their mentality is like, don't do anything risky, do things that are very safe, because trust me, you'll try to do something risky and it's going to bite you like in the ass or whatever.
I feel like that's most like immigrant parents. Yeah. They have that mindset.
Yeah. They want to be like very careful.
Yes.
And so that was the best information that I had at the time, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to my parents. They know a lot better than I do. I'm like 5. So that's how I was. And then my younger brother was the person who the first time was like, we were like 9 years old. I was 9, my brother was 8, and we were like bored at home and we obviously had no money, nothing. And he was like, hey, Chris, let's go, let's find a way to make some money. And so he was the first one that was like had this out of the box. I equate like entrepreneurship to thinking outside of the box.
Yes, I do too.
Right. So that was the first time where I was like, how are we going to make money? That's first of all, that's not going to work. Nobody's going to give us money. We're going to get laughed out of the room. Like, plus you're 8, I'm 9. Like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
He's like, let's go into our dad's library and let's take all his expensive books and let's go see if we could sell them. That was like just the idea that he had. And my dad from Armenia, he brought these like coffee table books, like really expensive coffee table books. And like each page was like this high res, like Armenian church. That's like a ruin. It's like, it's a really,
Oh, that sounds like such a cool
it's a great
book.
Yeah. And he had a bunch of them. So we grabbed like 10 of them and we go outside and we put them on the street. We just lay them on the floor. And I'm just like, I'm embarrassed. And it's like, oh, this is so embarrassing. Yeah, I'm embarrassed. And my younger brother's just sitting there in front of the books. And some Armenian mom is walking her child in front of us. And she's like, what are these books? And my brother's like, well, they're for sale. And I'm just like, oh my God, we're going to get in trouble. My dad's going to find out about this book. She's going to see my dad and be like, and so I'm just like shaking my head. And, but she, instead of like having a negative reaction, she tells my brother, she's like, how much is this book? And Greg is like, it's my younger brother. He doesn't know he's 8. So he turns to me. This is a book that's like $70, right? Or something. Yeah. she turns to me, he's like, what do I, and I'm like, tell her it's $1. So
you sold it for $1?
Yeah, we sold it for $1.
No.
And she's like, how much? I'm like, $1. So she's like, cause it's the first time we've ever made any amount of money. So she's like, yeah, no problem. So she pulls out $1, gives it to my brother, takes the book. And I am like in shock that the reality that I was living in wasn't the reality that I thought was the case. And so that's the first time that I was like, whoa, maybe the way my parents think it's not always the best to follow.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how it started. So I wasn't always entrepreneurial, to answer your question. And there was a couple of those. I have a couple of these stories, but by like the 3rd or 4th time this happened, I completely changed my mind.
Yeah. And you didn't have anybody in your family that owned a business, or was it?
No. My family's like.
So we're very similar. Like, we come from the immigrant parents. We're the first ones to break out and start a business and like do all that. Yeah. So you've been basically like you and your best friend, because Chris and Eddy is what the burger place is called, and you're Chris, and then Eddy is one of your best friends. How did you meet Eddy?
So when I was like 12 years old, me and my friends from the neighborhood, we would go to Marshall High. We grew up like in like East Hollywood. But we wanted
to go to Marshall.
Right, it's a great school.
Yeah,
it's cool
I went to Fairfax.
Yeah. But we would go there on the weekends when it was empty, and we would jump the gate and we would just play basketball like on the outdoor courts. Okay. And we ran into another group of Armenian kids. Okay. It was the founders of Dave's Hot Chicken as kids. There are 12.
Stop.
Yeah, in that group, and Eddy. Obviously, so that's how we met. And we were like, hey, why don't you guys play us 5-on-5? So it's like their crew versus our crew. And that's how we got to become friends. And so it was just like, we were always on the same page. Like, I remember, like, not that weekend, but like one of the following weekends when we were playing basketball, I got into an argument with my friends about what success looks like. Like, what is your definition of success? And we were like young, 13, like having these conversations. And at the time, like, I was very short-sighted in what I thought success was. I just thought it was making a lot of money. But my friends were saying something else, like, oh, it's about health or family. I don't know. But I was disagreeing with my own friends. So I went to their side and I was like, yo, Eddy, I remember this. This is how, and I was like, Eddy, what's your definition of success? He's like, success? Oh man, driving a Phantom down the street with this and that, right? Yes. And I was like, see? I was like pointing to him. So we've been friends ever since. Yeah. All 10 of us, like my 5 and his 5, we've been friends ever since. But that's how we met.
So you're friends with the guys from Dave's Hot Chicken?
Yeah.
So you guys are real. I didn't know this, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you guys are all close, and now you guys are in the same field. Is it competitive at all?
No, it's not competitive because they're so much more successful than we are, and they kind of like laid the groundwork for people to come up, have an idea for a food concept with absolutely no money, grow it into like $1 billion business. So we're just like we're like humble. Yeah. Like humble in there.
Do they share resources with you? Like if you ask like, hey, I don't know, like will they share?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So Dave, like this. So what happened was, and I'm sure we'll get into this, but basically, I've been a serial entrepreneur as long as I can remember. A couple of those stories after I was 9 years old, I basically told myself I really want to be an entrepreneur. So since then, I've been doing different businesses.
Okay.
But specifically for Chris and Eddy's, it was Eddy's idea because Eddy was really close with the Dave's Hot Chicken people, obviously. And so when they started Dave's, Eddy was actually making a lot of his own money. So he had no reason to like join the Dave's Hot Chicken like business. But the Dave's guys, they were doing their own thing. But when Eddy wanted to start burgers, he realized he kind of like figured out the business, for the food business. And he really wanted to do burgers. You know, it's like a natural adjacent business to fried chicken is like burgers. So he was like, we could do this. But he didn't want to do it alone because it's so much work.
Yeah.
So he was waiting for a co-founder. And I was living in San Francisco at the time. But because of COVID, I was in LA with my parents because I wanted to come back and like live with them because I missed them, honestly. And I was like, I'm just going to go live with you guys. And
the best, by the way, to live with your parents.
Yeah. And so he just like, he kind of was like, oh, Chris is a free agent. So I'm just gonna like, I'm gonna scoop him. He's like, yeah, he came to my house and we went on a hike and he was like, Chris, I won't do this business without you. Here's how this is why I think it's a good business. Like the Dave's guys are going to help us in this way. They'll teach us like what we need to know. And like they'll support us, but they're not going to do the work for us.
Yeah.
But like it has to be you and me. So then we partnered up and started.
But prior to that, you graduated from UCLA, right? And then what were you studying in UCLA? Like what did you major in?
Business economics.
Okay. Okay, so it all ties in.
It does, but it's like a process. So I think like, and I think this is really important. In middle school, I don't know how or when, but they had an entrepreneur class. They like made in one of the electives like an entrepreneurship class.
I wish all schools did that.
I know.
Honestly.
I know. And but so I was just like obsessed with this class. So I was like, I have to get in. So I went to the teacher. I like networked my way into getting into this class, and that's when I decided that like this is something I actually enjoy doing, and I have a natural knack for it. And like one of the things that was funny was like, we were selling Rice Krispies. So we were making Rice Krispies at home, but I was like taking half chocolate Rice Krispies and half vanilla. And I was having my mom mix it and make it and telling her it's for entrepreneurship class. I need to make this. And so she was making these like fat Rice Krispies, and she would try to put M&Ms in there. It would be like, when you see it, you'd want to buy it. It's like a giant square.
Yeah.
And I would sell them for $1. So I'm still selling stuff for $1 at this point in my life.
You love $1.
I'll do anything for $1. So, but I was selling them, and I was competing with other kids in my class. They were also trying to sell other like chocolates and stuff that they were buying, but they just like, I was always one step ahead. Like I remember we were all competing in homeroom to try to sell to like our classmates. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to pick a time when no one else is selling to sell to students that no one else is selling to. So when it was lunchtime and everybody would go play, John Burroughs, the middle school that I went to, the whole school is broken up into 2 lunch sessions, lunch A and lunch B. So half the school is in class in 4th period and half the school is at lunch, and then they switch. For the 4th period kids go to lunch and the lunch kids do 4th period. And so when it was my lunch, I'm just going around knocking on the doors of the classes that are still in session. Yeah. No permission from anybody. Like, yeah. And so like the teachers would open, I'd be like, hi, I'm from the entrepreneurship class, right? Which is it's truth.
True.
Can I please sell? Can I take like 2 minutes to just sell to your class, to your class? So I would walk in and everybody would just put up their money, and I would just go around and I would just like collect $1 from like every kid.
Great.
And I just had like
what a hustler you are.
It was like, thank you. And it was, I think back to those memories very fondly, but it wasn't enough to just be like, I'm not gonna do anything. Like I'm just gonna become a businessman. You
know what? It's so funny though, because every time I say we're like different entrepreneurs, it is in our blood. Like I don't know if you know, but like I was selling hot Cheetos when I was in elementary. My dad would take me to get them from Smart and Final, 25 cents. I was selling for $1, the little pack. Yeah. And you know, Ayla is my daughter. She's very, very similar. Like she made these rubber band bracelets and she's like, do you think I could sell them at school? And I'm like, first of all, she goes to a whole different school that, you know, we didn't grow up in, but I'm like, yeah, babe, that's the school you could sell them for. But I just feel like it does, like it's in your blood. Like sometimes the entrepreneur, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I actually did this. I didn't sell hot Cheetos, but I remember telling my dad, people are selling chocolates and candies and stuff. Let's find like a cheap place to get them. And so he took me to Costco.
Yeah.
And Costco had like a great price, but then Food for Less had an even better price.
Oh, that's the only place we used to shop at.
That's what I'm saying. So we'd go to Food for Less, and I would just like stock up a bunch of like candies. And for us, the cookies, the Hershey's cookies and cream, that was what people. And we would get 4 for $1. It was always like 4 for $1. And I would buy all the boxes. And then my brother my younger brother, I told him about this, and so he's 1 year younger than me, so he's in 7th grade, and he took a bag. He didn't take his backpack to school that day. He took a sports bag filled with like candy. Like a duffel bag filled with cookies and cream, but it's mostly chocolate bars. Yeah. And I remember walking out of my class like for lunch, and he was outside of his classroom sitting in a chair, like those blue like public school chairs. Yes. And he had this duffel bag right here, and there was a 30 kid line. They were in line.
We all want the candy.
And so he was just like, and then what finally happened was a teacher noticed, was like, you probably can't be doing this, reported my brother. My brother called me and him, the dean called me and my brother to her office, and she was like, where'd you get all this candy? And we're like, our dad bought it for us. And then she like turns to the principal like, and she's like, the dad's in on it. It's to get a load of this. The dad's in on it.
That's hilarious.
And then so they're like, you can never sell candy again.
That's so funny. Okay, so you went from selling with your brother and you candy bars at school. Now let's fast forward to Chris and Eddy selling burgers from an apartment parking lot. How did that? Whose idea was that? So
the parking lot idea, Dave's Hot Chicken pioneered that idea.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the first ones. They actually had no money, and I love them to death. I hope they don't take this the wrong way. Like they were just like, their backs were against the wall. They were very bright and very smart and creative and inventive people, and they're very outside of the box thinkers. So they were the first that were like, you know what? If this chicken sandwich tastes better than anything else you can eat for dinner, period. Like not even just from like, if it's better, you'd prefer this over pizza, burritos, whatever. Yeah. Then like you're gonna come eat it. So they set it up out of a parking lot. So based off that like blueprint, we knew that Chris and Eddy's was the same. If we create a smash burger slider that's so delicious that
it's truly the best burger ever.
Thank you.
I'm so excited that you're coming.
Yeah, slowly migrating. We knew that every business has a different business model and has a different playbook.
Yeah.
And one of my friends told me this, like, every business, there's a formula, but you don't know the formula. You got to figure it out. Yes. It's a puzzle.
Yes.
But once you know the formula, it's like so obvious to you.
Yes.
And so for food, at the time that we did it, which was COVID, and we knew people were at home and they had nothing better to do, we knew that if they're bored and food was like an essential service, if we could make something truly like delicious and market it well and make it look like craveable over Instagram, you will drive to at least try it. And then once you try it and you like it, then you'll become a repeat customer. So that was the playbook. So we don't necessarily need to spend $1 million on like a build out during COVID when this playbook, like we were confident it would work.
So let's talk about the community response to you guys doing that. What was the community response during COVID?
Yeah.
At this parking lot.
It was overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people had nothing to do. They were at home, and one of my older brother's best friends, his name is Sal. I call him like the Godfather because he's an older entrepreneur, and he like helps me a lot. If I ever need advice or anything, I'll like reach out to him. And so during this time, during COVID, we needed a place to pop out of. We tried it somewhere. We got like without permission. We got kicked out. So we were like, we had no home.
Like, I need a spot.
Yeah. So I called.
Help me.
I called Sal, and I'm like, Sal, do you have a spot? He's like, I have a bar. The bars are closed. Clubs are closed. So there's a bar. There's a lot of parking. I'll help you out. So we get there. We're out on the street. Yeah. But the whole point of the story is there's like a 50 car parking lot, and what we didn't anticipate happened, which is people drove, they would order Chris and Eddy's, and then they would eat it in their car and watch Netflix. So they'd be on like a car date. Yeah, it's like people were coming on car dates, and there was like a long 20 car like line of, they're just like, I don't know. We got lucky. Uncle Sal, like if he didn't give us this parking lot, then we wouldn't have this opportunity. But it was these like, we knew we needed parking because people, you know, it's LA, but we didn't know that people were going to come and like live on the parking lot.
They were just going to pick up and
go. And it wasn't. So it was positive.
For people who haven't tried your burgers, you guys should definitely try them out. Describe it to them.
Yes.
What makes it so different from other burgers?
Great question. So it's a smashed slider. So it's a smash burger, but it's also not the same size as a regular smash burger. It's a little bit smaller. The idea behind it is anytime you're starting a business, you can't live. There's this concept called product market fit, right? You can't just like copy Amazon. Like it just won't work, right? You can't copy like Stanley, for example. It's just not going to work. You have to have your little pocket.
Yeah.
So it has to be this thing. It has to have product market fit, which to me, the best way I could describe it is the product has to be familiar, but different enough to where you could stand out. But if you do something really crazy and it's too out there, there's no market for it. But if you do something too familiar, you're just biting the next business, which is not good either.
Yeah.
And so the reason why Chris and Eddy's is so special is because when we would try smash burgers, when me and Eddy would try smash burgers, the concept of a smash burger is the patty, you smash it into the grill and it sears, it gets crispy like a steak. And that tastes better than just like throwing a patty on a grill without smashing it, because a steak doesn't taste as, it's very similar to a steak. If the steak tastes better when you sear it, so would ground beef. It's the same thing. So that's what a smash burger is. The problem is when you like spread out the patty too thin, it loses like the juice. So when you have a big burger and you try to like smear this patty over the whole burger, it's just too thin. But if it's a slider, it's still small enough to where the center, it could still be thick. So it's juicy, but it's crispy. So that's Chris and Eddy's. It's like, it's
so juicy.
It's familiar because it's a burger, but it's different because it's a little bit smaller and it's a smash burger. So it's like, that's what makes Chris and Eddy so unique.
What's your favorite thing to order off the menu?
So I like Chris's Way, which is named after me. So the way the restaurant works, there's Chris's Way and there's Eddy's Way.
Okay.
Because there's like two distinct type of people that like two distinct type of burgers. One is like a camp of people who like greasy, cheesy, melty, gooey burgers. That's the Eddy's Way. That's meat, cheese, bread, grilled onion, sauce, and like pickles if you want pickles. And then there's the Chris's Way. That's like the In-N-Out camp, people that like love In-N-Out, which is like we have more fresh vegetables to cut all that grease and fat. So the way I like it is Chris's Way. That's like just lettuce, tomatoes, raw onion, sauce, pickles is optional, and then meat, cheese, and bread.
Yeah. So not normally, but a lot of the times they say you can't mix business and pleasure and like friendships, right? One of your business partner is your best friend. Do you feel like that's been hard on your friendship? Do you feel like you guys have had any moments where you're like, damn, why did I go into business with my best friend?
No, I actually, so in the startup, like entrepreneur, like tech entrepreneur, in that world where like you have to go get investors, like tech investors and stuff, their blueprint is to invest in founders where they are best friends. And they like,
really?
And they like that their like ideal number is 3 founders. They're all best friends. The reason is because it's twofold. One, if I have to deliver some like really negative feedback, if you're like really, really close and your friend, you'll just like shit on them. You don't care. You'll just be like, dude, man, like you're showing up late every day. Like you clearly don't care as much as us.
Yeah.
And the way, what me and Eddy say, we actually are very blessed. We don't have disagreements that often.
Yeah.
We just have a mutual respect. But like, we'll just be like if the business was a person, the business would like me more right now than you. So that's how we say it. Like the business like loves me, man. Right now the business loves me, and like the business doesn't like you that much because what are you doing for the business? Like I'm taking care of this business, like if it's like a baby. So it's actually healthy. Yes, when your friends try to take advantage. I just think that you have certain friends you shouldn't start businesses with.
I agree. And you kind of know who you shouldn't be in business with and who you should.
Yeah. So with Eddy specifically, he would also be a perfect person for this show because he is against like me and Eddy were the 2 poorest people that we've ever met growing up. Nobody was more poor than Eddy was, or I was. And Eddy was poor because he was just living with his mom, taking care of his mom. Eddy knows Spanish. He came from Armenia when he was 10. By 15, he was selling shirts on Santee Alley, and he taught himself how to speak Spanish.
Damn.
Yeah. So when you have a founder, like when you have a co-founder like that, you just know he's going to take care of his side of the business. Like
and he's going to go full throttle to get to where he needs to get to.
And so when you have he's just so, he just needs
the grit behind it.
He's not immature. He needs to take care of his mom. He's like, his mom like had 2 knee surgeries. Like she doesn't walk.
Yeah. He's like, against all odds, I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. That's amazing. So Chris is more like your family. Right? So you guys have been friends since...
Yeah, we've been friends forever. He's like
your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of family, your family is growing, which I'm so excited about. How... First of all, I think you're going to be an amazing dad, and Milana's going to be an amazing mom. But how do you think you're going to balance business and fatherhood? Like, have you mentally prepared for you? Are you anxious about it? Like...
So I'm not anxious. I was anxious but then I like kind of came to terms with what's happening, and I do agree with you. I think all else being equal, I think I will be a great dad. So I'm not too nervous or anxious about that. From a business standpoint, I think I'm going to try to prioritize working from home as much as possible so that I could be around my kids. I just think like in this day and age, it is possible to grow a business almost like fully remote. I think I will have an office, but my goal is like, I don't think I need to be at the office for more than 4 hours a day. Yeah. I could do the rest of it at home. Yeah. So
it's balancing work and life.
I'm not like I'm not going to take the gas pedal off Chris and Eddy's at all. This is like with
Chris and Eddy's. Push you harder.
Yeah. But like,
for me personally, that's what it did.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
And exactly. So like I don't want to be one of those dads that's like always working. Yeah. I care a lot more about investing in the next generation. Yeah. Like my story's mostly been told already. So I just need to like grow Chris and Eddy's as much as possible to be as big as possible and as successful as possible. And then once it's at that point, I'm just going to like focus on my kids and see like what they want to do with their life, and then try to teach them and help them. Yeah. Become that.
And obviously your business is scaling right now. It's growing. So you have your main location is Hollywood. Now you're expanding to Van Nuys and to Glendale, right? When are those supposed to be open?
Glendale's almost ready to be open. We just have to pass our last like round of inspections, and then I have to just train the staff, and it's going to open. Okay. So
by summer we'll have a Glendale location.
By like the next 3 weeks. So,
amazing. Yeah. Okay. Amazing.
And then June 1st, that's like my target launch date for Van Nuys.
For Van Nuys.
Yeah. Van Nuys is a little tricky.
So excited for Van Nuys.
Thank you.
Closer to me. And then how are you scaling these businesses? Are you and Eddy just reinvesting the money, or are you getting loans? Like what's your process on investing back in your business? Because you don't have other investors.
No, we don't. I think like...
Do you guys plan on having other investors?
No, we're going to try not to. And the reason is like, if you look at all the people that have the most money in the world, they've held on to something for a long time. They're not like trying to day trade and like sell. Yeah. So you just want to hold on to something for as long as you can. And like me and Eddy are such good partners for each other when it comes to business. There's no need to complicate it with other investors. Now, like if someone, like if a strategic investor comes in and like is bringing a bunch of value that me and Eddy can't provide, has a bunch of like knowledge about how to like maybe franchise a business or just scale it faster, then we'll bring them in if it makes sense. But the goal is we don't like to sell equity unless we absolutely have to. Yeah.
So you're self-funded reinvesting.
Yeah.
All the money.
So we have like it's a weird system, but we essentially like from all the money we make every month, not all of it will get distributed out to the founders. Yeah. A portion of it gets saved.
Yeah. That's basically what we were doing with Sev. Like, so we were reinvesting to open more locations from the profit that the stores were making. Yeah. I feel like I learned so much more. I already knew so much about you, but I feel like I learned so much more. And so now with store number 3 opening June 1st, do you feel like you've reached success?
No, not yet. I think like my goal is I want Chris and Eddy's to get to like 30 stores. That's like at a bare minimum. So I don't think I'll stop until I get to 30.
And then will you guys sell?
if we get to 30 stores and like my kids need me or my wife needs me, I'll prioritize my kids or my wife.
Yeah.
But if everything is like going smoothly, then I would want to grow. I think like loosely, I want to compete. So like there's obviously, this is my one shot right now, at least in my 30s and my early 40s, to where I can like grow something to be as big as possible. So my like immediate competitors are all the other smash burger businesses in LA and in New York.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think the next big one is Habit, which is like, I think they got acquired for $300 million when they had 75 stores.
I'm so sorry, and this is no disrespect to Habit, but like your burgers do not compare to Habit burgers.
Thank you. And that's
the taste of your burgers, and I'm such a foodie person that like, no, it does not compare.
Thank you. And so like, there's no reason why we can't do that too.
Yeah.
And then past that, you have like Shake Shack, which I know we're talking like in the billions, but like those are my competitors, like one after another. And like now it's like with 3 stores, you're like, but you have to like dream for the stars. So if you like land on the clouds, you're happy.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. So, but the goal is like, I think success is like 30 stores, but like I would really be like dancing every day, every morning if I could get to 75 stores. And it's not like a money thing for me. It's like, to me, it's a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I like solved the puzzle to the point, and I'm like steering the ship, you know? So I got it to a point where there's 75 units and they're all profitable, and like someone wants to pay money to acquire them. And like, to me, that's the definition of success as a businessman.
Yeah.
And there's different scales. Like obviously the highest tier would be In-N-Out, which, I don't know, like in 90 years, if In-N-Out never does delivery and never does anything and they just like grow at their pace now, could somebody catch up and like overtake them? Maybe, you know, but like that's like the ultimate, like I would be like 90 years old if that ever happened. But the goal is like, I already know the milestones.
Yeah.
So no, at 3 stores, like if Chris and Eddy's was at 3 stores and it sold, I would say it's unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it gets to like
27 more stores to go. You're almost there.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a couple per year.
So we like to end every episode with giving a piece of advice. So give them something for anybody in the food industry, for anybody that is maybe thinking about going into being an entrepreneur. Like what would you leave them with?
So my framework for any business, outside of like what I was describing earlier about the product market fit, any business, no matter what, it will work out if you have a world-class product and you figure out a way to do world-class marketing. It's just, honestly, it's just 2 things.
Yeah.
So
I agree, by the way.
Yeah. So it's like, let's just pick something random, right? So let's say it doesn't even have to be a business. It could be like,
let's say these cups.
Yeah. So if we're talking about these cups.
Let's talk about like jeweled cups.
Talk about jewel cups.
Get it in the right person's hands and everyone's going to want a jewel cup.
Yeah.
You see it, prime example with TikTok right now. Things go viral that have been around forever. But it's the people that are marketing it, that are making it cool, that you're like, okay, I need one of those cups.
Yeah. So, okay, right. So let's dissect it, right? Let's say there's a jewel like cup business that's doing really well, but yours isn't doing well, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, why isn't it doing well? It's just as good as the same cup, okay? So if it's the same cup, then you just look at the marketing. If like you're holding this cup,
exactly,
but nobody's holding this other cup, like you do not have world-class marketing, right? And then like from the product standpoint itself, you might be like, it's the same product, but like, okay, but what's the price point? Like, is it if it's not really how is it world-class? Like, like my dad always kind of like would talk about like, everyone I don't know, this is a very weird example, but it just hits where it's like, everybody remembers Michael Jackson. Nobody remembers second place. Yeah. And it's like, you just have to try to be first place.
It's true though.
Yeah, it's true. It really is true. Like you'll know who the gold medalist is, but you won't really know who the silver medalist is. So it's like with the burgers, for example, or with any product, like do not stop iterating on that product until it's literally better than everything else.
So it's first place.
Yeah, until it's in first place.
Yeah.
You got that done. Now figure out the marketing. And for marketing, certain products, there's certain channels that make sense for that product. So when someone like is a dentist and they go on Instagram and they start showing me like their patient's teeth and stuff, I'm like, it's not the right channel.
Yeah.
Right. For like a dentist, if you're a dentist, you want more clients, like do direct mail, find the right channel for your business.
Yeah.
For food, it's obviously Instagram. So my advice would be like, if you're, whatever it is, burritos, taco, whatever it is, make it the best tasting burrito, taco, pizza, burger, whatever, until it actually is. You're competing with Michelin level chefs, whatever, but you could do it. You could go on YouTube. You could just it's actually very freeing to know this, because it really just takes effort in the kitchen, and you'll figure it out. And then figure out the marketing. Like if you're in the food business, it's really just going to be Instagram. Take pictures and videos of the food until it's so craveable that people are driving to come eat it. And so that's kind of like your playbook.
Are you guys on Uber Eats? And
Yeah,
you are. And you guys were just at Coachella too. This is your first year or second year?
It's our third year now.
Oh, your third year. Okay. And do you feel like being at festivals that are like the festivals where everyone's at, do you feel like they impact your business? Like, are they helpful?
Yeah. So last year, we on Saturday night they were eating Chris and Eddy's at Coachella, and then people that were leaving for some reason, whatever, in the middle of the weekend, they weren't going to stay all 3 days. They drove back to Hollywood and went to Chris and Eddy's.
Wow.
Like 30. Like we counted like 20 to 30 people like coming in that night.
And so how do you get to be like one of the vendors for Coachella? Like, do you apply? Do they reach out? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, you apply. You have to apply. They have like a food and beverage team, and then
probably like scout out your Instagram and like okay.
Yeah, they're like definitely.
And then is there a minimum order that you guys have to?
No, no, because they want to be complete. Coachella wants to be de-risked, right? So there's no reason if like it rains out, they want to make sure that they're getting paid no matter what.
Okay.
They couldn't just be like, hey, pay us a flat fee and then you just make all your profits, because that would suck for the vendors. Because if it does rain out, why am I out like, let's say 10 grand?
Yeah.
So instead we just do a profit share.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
So, but it racks up. Like it's a lot of money for.
Yeah. It's like an investment.
Yeah.
Like a marketing play, right?
It is.
Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you next time on Against All Odds. Against All Odds is a Hyphenate Media Group production in partnership with iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more of your favorite shows, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.